Hi everyone, welcome to another foreigner video. Today I'm test riding the BMW R1200RT. So first impressions are that this is obviously a big bike, heavy bike, very easy to ride, very comfortable. So it's the type of bike that you can ride for hours and hours. A typical touring machine with all the gadgetry and all the comfort that you need for cross-continental trips. So this particular bike comes equipped with all the electronics that you would expect on such a machine. It's the LE specification, so it's the BMW R1200RT LE, and that includes cruise control, dynamic electronic suspension adjustment. And what else does it have? It's got obviously traction control, ABS, it's got heater grips, heater seats, and what else? It's got the electronically controlled windscreen, so you can bring it down like that and you get a lot of wind on your helmet, but you can bring it up like this and the wind and the noise suddenly go away. So inside a bubble of calm and quiet air, which is very nice. Just bring this down a bit, because although I'm not seeing the road ahead of me through the windscreen, it's just at my in front of my eyes, so the top of the windscreen just in front of my eyes. It's not very comfortable. So just bring it down a bit, just a couple of centimeters. That makes it low enough for me to comfortably view the road, and also makes it very comfortable in terms of wind protection. So speaking of wind protection, you know, the bulk of this bike, its huge fairing just is more than enough to protect the rider from, and I would dare say the pillion as well, protect rider and pillion from the elements. So making it a very comfortable ride, both in terms of wind protection and even rain protection, so not as wet as you would get on another bike. Engine is the beautiful 1170cc twin boxer, generating 125 brake horsepower and 125 Newton meters of maximum torque. So I know this engine reasonably well on its various on the various models that it equips, such as the GS, the 1200RS and the 1200R. I've ridden them all, and although it's slightly tuned, slightly differently tuned for each of the models, given the, you know, this kind of the difficult type of bike that we're riding, it's a very beautiful engine. It feels, on this particular bike, the RT, it feels, for instance, less agricultural than on the GS. It's more smooth. It feels like BMW. I don't know exactly what changed, or if they've changed anything, to be honest, from one model to the other, engine-wise. However, it feels a lot smoother and less agricultural on this bike, which makes sense. Being a touring bike, you would expect to do long miles on it in a very comfortable fashion. Not that you cannot do that on the GS. You can do that, of course, but it has that more kind of rugged feeling to it, which is nice when you're riding the GS, because that's the type of bike where you would expect to have it. But on this one, everything is very smooth. On the RT, everything is well thought out to give the rider that smooth, comfortable ride that they expect when riding this bike. And the engine has plenty of go. I mean, 125 horsepower, 125 Newton meters of torque. We can just pull away at any speed, on any gear. The bike just pulls away, and it's got plenty of go. I'm going way above the speed limit here. One of the things about the the protection that this windscreen gives you is that because we're so insulated inside this bubble of calmness, that we have no idea of how fast we go because you can't feel the wind, and there's no noise on the helmet, so it's all very, very quiet, all very, very plush. And because of the low, and also adding to that comfort that the bike has in terms of seat, for instance, in terms of suspension that I've just talked about, in terms of wind protection provided by both the huge fairing and the windscreen, adding on to that comfort is the engine position and the engine architecture, really, because it's an opposed twin block, and it's very, very low on the bike. It lowers the center of gravity, providing a very, very stable ride and a very, very easy handling of the bike. So the bike just goes. It feels like we're controlling the bike telepathically. We just think where we want to go, and the bike just goes. So it's very, very easy to handle despite its size and weight. So it's flickable. You can flick it around like that, and she just goes wherever you want it to go. Just a bit of counter steering, and there you go. She's turning, which is very nice. This particular version with the LE specification also comes with BMW's Gearshift Assist Pro, which is basically a quick shifter, and it's an up and down quick shifter. And it's very, very smooth, but not when shifting from first to second, second to third. You get this, this very, very loud clunk from the gearbox when you're shifting from first to second and second to third. So I tend to use the clutch when shifting that low, and it also allows you to shift downwards as well. So to shift upwards, you just keep positive action on the throttle. You shift downwards. So right now I'm 6th gear, so I just close the throttle a bit and shift down, and that's it. Shifting down is also very smooth. Down to 4th now. Shifting down is also very smooth if you let go of the throttle for a moment. Shifting upwards is also very smooth. Just keep positive action on the throttle, and bang, we're in 5th, and bang, we're in 6th gear. And I'm doing 52 miles per hour at the moment in 6th gear, and the engine is not complaining. It's a beautiful, beautiful, torquey engine, this twin. I mean, it's not as smooth as the 6-cylinder 1600cc engine that equips the K1600 GT or the Bagger that I rode a couple of months ago. But it has this, I don't even know the word, but it has this kind of very torquey nature. And although it can be a bit lumpy, it's a really nice engine. Love it. If I was in the market for a touring bike, a BMW bike, I would go with the RT over the K1600, you know, without even thinking twice. Because in terms of comfort, in terms of size, and you know, the ability to tour long distances, I don't think that there's a huge difference between the K1600 and the RT, or the GT, K1600 GT, GTL, or even the Bagger. The Bagger has a completely different style. It's not a touring bike. You can tour on it, but it's a cruiser bike. It's a completely different style, really. And it kind of forces the rider, it just leads the rider to ride the bike in a completely different way than you would ride the K1600 GT. But this, the RT, to me at least, has the best of both worlds. It has all the comfort and all the gadgetry and everything that the bigger K1600 has, and it's got the beautiful boxer twin that I love. So unfortunately, it's almost time to hand the bike over to Bahnstormer, which, by the way, I'd like to give a massive shout out to Bahnstormer Alton, Paul Goddard. He was kind enough to give me a call after I visited the BMW stand at the Motorcycle Live show in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. Gave me a call, asked me if I wanted to test ride this bike, which I accepted immediately. And yes, massive shout out to Bahnstormer Alton, Paul Goddard, for letting me have the bike. But unfortunately, it's almost time to give it back. Don't get me wrong, I love riding my F800 GT, but this is completely different. It's in a world of its own, world apart. Right, guys, well, thank you very much for watching the video. As always, please just leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have any suggestions, any ideas you want to share. Just like the video, share, subscribe, all the social nonsense. Well, thank you very much for watching, and there will be new videos coming on very soon. Right, cheerio, cheers, bye.